guys, welcome to another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to insert a graph based upon the mean. First thing we're going to do, however, is we're going to place some of our titles for our data over here. So we're going to type in mean, and we can type in standard error, and we can also type in standard deviation. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm actually going to select these cells, press equals, and drag in, select the actual mean for that column. So this will be the mean for this column, select this cell, this will be the mean for this column, and select this cell will be the mean for the third column. I'm going to now do the same for standard error, so equals standard error equals the standard error, and then equals the standard error. Then as I come over here, standard deviation equals the standard deviation equals this one, and then finally this one. Okay, in order to do a graph, we're going to be graphing off our means. So I'm first going to select the three means with my mouse, and I'm going to go to insert and select a 2D column. Never ever for biology insert something like a 3D column. We do not want that whatsoever. So 2D column, and we've got our simple bar graph. So these are the means of the amount of water loss. Now when you've got your table here, we're going to go across to the plus button, and we're going to add error bars. Now once we add error bars, we're going to select this little arrow here, and we're going to click more options. We will then get this table. By the way, we've got formatting, and then we have options at the end. We're going to go down, we're going to select custom. Now before we do this, okay, we'll see that with the error bars they're all the same height. Even though the current standard error are different numbers, Excel has not yet picked up that that's what the errors actually are. When it puts in the standard error bars, it specifically puts in just a placeholder. We need to actually then specify the value for the error bars, and we need to specify what the top value is, and we need to specify what the bottom value is. So what we're going to do is we're going to come across to here, click specify value, and we have this little menu. What we're going to do is we're going to click the top red arrow, and we're going to select three standard errors. We're going to press the bottom, the arrow again. We're now going to press the negative error value by pressing that arrow, and we're going to select the three standard errors again. Then we're going to press OK. Once we've done that, we can see that the error bars have actually now changed to reflect what the data in the graph. And let's just have a very quick dissection about what's possibly going on. Later in another video we'll actually have a talk about what it means for error bars to overlap, but essentially it means that where error bars overlap, it means there is no significant difference in the data. But when we have a large error bar, it means that there is a large variance of error. So when we come up and we have a look at our data table, this is our first table. Okay, this is the amount of water loss and transpiration in a plant. We can see on average we're going from 20, 19, 18, 18, 18, 18. All of a sudden there's 2. Okay, and then it jumps back to 17.8. So there is obviously an error in the bar. Now whether that's an outlier, you can delete that, but as a scientist you're actually allowed to take some poetic license and put what you think would have been the data. So it wouldn't have been incorrect to delete the 2. You then look between, say, 18 and 17.8. Well, maybe you could put 17.9 in there, because that would be a lot more factual. And a good exercise for this activity would be to put 17.9, go and do the chart again and see if you have the same error bars. But what you also need to then do is understand that where you have large error bars in data that you've collected, then you've had a problem in the process of collecting data, whether it be you haven't looked after variables well enough, or variables have impacted, and so your data has been affected by error, scientist error in collecting the data. Maybe it needs to be repeated. Certainly, however, it also means that that is a discussion that you would have when writing the limitations in your assignment. So fixing obvious error is something that you need to be able to do in your data. Okay, thanks for listening.